To think that I was going to take a trip down to Amity Hall and watch at the Supporters Club. What a waste of a trip that would have been. That was one of the worst performances I have seen since Pep Guardiola took this job in 2016. This is the first time we've conceded 4 goals in the Champions League since 2016 by Barcelona. First of all, before we talk about our performance, we got to talk about their performance. Sporting completely, utterly dominated the game at the end of the first half and beginning of that second half. That is how they won the game. If you look at possession, if you think possession is the only way to dominate a game, you're mistaken. I don't give a damn about possession. I don't know what else to say. Beautiful send-off for their manager. I'm sure every Benfica and FC Porto fan right now is probably loving life right now. But, first of all, their goalkeeper, Israel, didn't have a lot to do. Erling Haaland's chances were very tame. Savinho shots were pretty tame. Kevin De Bruyne on that last pass in the 94th minute, right at the keeper. Toddler could have saved that. Diomande was excellent today. Absolutely excellent today. Araujo. Look, I'm going to get into Savinho's performance. Spoiler alert, I think he did pretty well. But Araujo was excellent today. Fierce competitors from Uruguay. South Americans don't play when it comes to the physicality, ladies and gentlemen. Completely dominated Savinho for a large portion of the game. I thought Trincao was silky. I thought he made some pretty wrong decisions on some counterattacks, I'll be honest with you. But he played well. I thought Gyökeres, however you pronounce it. Mr. Bain was out of this world. He was amazing today. Not just, yes, he missed that one-on-one chance with Ederson. Completely scuffed it. I was so shocked. But the thing I loved about him is he did what I expected Erling Haaland to do. And that's be involved in the game. Because that guy right there didn't exist today. I was so glad that Erling Haaland missed that penalty. I was so glad. That wasn't a penalty. The best striker right now is Gyokeres. So much better than Erling Haaland today. Gyokeres today played better than any performance Erling Haaland played for a majority of this season. I have yet to see Erling Haaland play this well against a big team in a big game this season, as well as what Gyokeres just did today. Constantly pressuring our defense. Every time he got the ball and the camera zoomed in, you can tell by his face, his veins were popping. He was giving it everything he got with his dribbles. He was fierce, he was aggressive. He didn't give a damn that it was Manchester City. Sporting didn't give a damn. Whoever told them at halftime what to do, you deserve a raise. I don't know if it was Amarin. Regardless, if that was, then I am so freaking scared of what he's going to do in the Premier League. They showed us way too much respect. Halftime came, and they said, yo, City aren't taking their chances. Haaland is completely out of the game. Beat these motherfuckers, and they did. Gyökeres, sensational player. 2 amazing penalties. Great finish on that one-on-one with Ederson with Simpson-Pusey defending him. Simpson-Pusey is, yes, he's an academy player, but he's a big lad. And Gyökeres just made it look so easy. He could have had 4 goals. He could have had 5 goals today. All in all, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Sporting. What a phenomenal, phenomenal team. Any team that gets that striker, that gets Gyökeres, in this, whether it's this winter transfer window or this summer, is going to be set for years to come. Because that man is a bad man. He really is. He really is. Mr. Bain, incredible player. Absolutely fantastic striker. Now for us, Manchester City, pitiful performance. Absolutely pitiful. I was away this past weekend visiting family in Washington, D.C., looking at some museums. I saw the Bournemouth game. I did. I was watching it. And I let it slide. I didn't want to make a video because we're allowed to lose a game. We're Manchester City. I know we're allowed to lose a game. I'm going to cut some slack to my players. But this was deplorable. This was pathetic. This was childish. This was a pathetic excuse of men playing football. I'm not blaming any of this on Ederson today. Maybe he could have done a little bit better on that Araujo chance, but this has nothing to do with Ederson today. Nothing. Gvardiol. Let's start with you, Gvardiol. First half, I thought you were excellent. There was this one play where he had a dummy pass. First time dummy pass. I think it was either Matheus Nunes. It was either Kovacic or Matheus Nunes. Regardless, beautiful stuff. Kept his composure for most of that first half. But that penalty was absolutely diabolical. Akanji was coming. That attacker had no wiggle room. Ederson was on the near post. There was literally nothing he could have done. It would have taken a spectacular world-class finish to beat 3 of our players from that angle. But you messed up. Terrible, terrible decision by Josko Gvardiol today. You costed us that goal. That was all on you. All on you. Horrible tackle. Low IQ tackle. Pitiful. Regardless, I thought Josko Gvardiol did pretty well for most of the game. But unfortunately, it's these fine margins that are going to determine so much in this game. Akanji, constantly seeing a lot of our defenders walking when counterattacks are in play. And Akanji is one of the main culprits at this. He did pretty well with a couple of tackles. He was strong, but some of those counterattacks. Where were you? You should have done well to block some of those passes onto Gyokeres. Some of those passes I've seen you intercept with ease in the Premier League against better opposition. Simpson-Pusey, I have 0 negatives to say. The only reason is because it's an academy. You're an academy player. I don't give a damn if you made mistakes today. It's an academy player. It's in the Champions League against one of the most informed teams in Europe, against the best striker right now in Europe. He's better than Haaland right now, and he might be better than Lewandowski right now. He's that good, Gyokeres. He's phenomenal. He did pretty well. There was a one-on-one with Gyokeres against Simpson-Pusey before the goal, and I think it hit his hand. But that obviously shouldn't have been given, and it was correct not to be given. But he stayed composed, and he won the duel. There were some moments where he got the ball off of Gyokeres a couple of times. But that one-on-one with Gyokeres against Simpson-Pusey for that one-on-one chance and that goal, that was just strong center forward play. I'm not going to blame Simpson-Pusey for that whatsoever. Good job, my friend. I'm so proud to see you get your first start today. Learn from this mistake. You're going to bounce back. I have complete and utter faith. Mateusz Kovacic in that first half was my man of the match. He really was. Mateo Kovacic in that first half was absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. Composed, dictating the play. Beautiful first touches. Amazing footwork in the middle of the park. Calm, composed, drifting in and out of players like not even there. He was combining well with Gvardiol, Akanji, and everybody else. I know Phil Foden was amazing too, but Kovacic was my man of the match in that first half. Matheus Nunes is still having some pretty good form. That pass to Erling Haaland was absolutely sublime. Haaland should have done better with that. If it was that guy getting onto the end of that pass, that would have been a goal. But Haaland, I don't know what's wrong with Erling Haaland today, or in the last couple of games, the last several weeks. Matheus Nunes getting the ball, drifting in from that left wing spot, shooting it. His confidence is growing game by game. Yes, we lost, but I'm going to look at the positives here. Matheus Nunes, good game today, my friend. Good game today. Savinho, here's the thing. You lost a good amount of battles to Araujo. I think he got the better of you, but I loved you taking risks. I loved Savinho today. There were some moments where some of his shots were completely tame. Some of his shots were completely wild, tame. There wasn't really anything in between. His first touch in that first half, I don't know who passed that ball. Completely Mahrez-esque. It was sensational. I'm not going to get on Savinho. I thought Savinho was good today, so I'm not going to get on him today. Phil Foden, yes, we lost to Bournemouth, but if you watched Phil Foden closely, his game is changing a little bit for the better. And today, you saw a glimpse of it in that first half. The first half, he was taking chances. He was getting the ball. He looked like he wanted to be the main person for this team. That's what I loved about Phil Foden. Great goal. I think that's his third Champions League goal in the last 3 games. He's absolutely playing out of his mind right now in the Champions League. Yes, we lost, but still Phil Foden is sensational, so I'm not going to get on him. Not a really good second half performance, but again, good performance in that first half. He's going to get better. Bernardo Silva, poor. Just, poor. There were some moments where he showed a little bit of his class, and there were some moments where he didn't take any risks at all. Bernardo Silva is a player that everybody here should love. is a player that I've always loved and I always will. Poor performance today by Bernardo Silva. Not gonna lie, I had secondhand embarrassment while he was calling for that handball on, I think it was Diomande. Never a penalty in a billion years. Like I said, I'm glad Erling Haaland missed it. And we're gonna move on to Erling Haaland today. Good shot with that left foot. It was a left-footed curler. Decent shot from that amazing pass from Phil Foden on that left-hand spot. Great job to get on the end of that. But on the end of that Matheus Nunes pass, that was just completely wild and unexpected. You should have done a lot better with that. And most of the game, that second half, you weren't there at all. I am getting a little bit sick and tired of us not feeding Erling Haaland the ball. But then again, there were times where he did have a lot of chances today, and he completely missed every single one. And that penalty miss was a cherry on top of a pitiful performance today by Manchester City Football Club. I'm not going to get on Erling Haaland too much, but that was a bad performance. You were nowhere near the best striker. If this is coming out as harsh, then so be it. These are the players that I've held dear to my heart for the last several years, and I'm not going to lie to them. Lying to them and calling them sensational and world-class and blah, blah, blah every single time is not going to get us anywhere. This is our third loss in a row. This has happened only twice before, I believe. So it's third time. This is absolutely unacceptable. We definitely need some reinforcements in January, whether that's Zubamendi or some more defensive cover. But man, the only positive thing today is that De Bruyne is back. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not absolutely furious. I'm angry, but I'm not ripping my hair out angry. I'm not there because it's our first loss in the Champions League in a long time, in 90 minutes. I count that Real Madrid unbeaten game as a loss. 2 games in the last 2 years since 2022. But our defense was the reason we lost today. The biggest reason. Our attack was completely... We had the chances. We just didn't take them properly. Trying to be too cute. Put the fucking ball in the back of the net. Our defense was shambolic. We have no midfielding cover. This is why Rodri won the Ballon d'Or. Because a lot of those counterattacks wouldn't have happened if he was on the field. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe if you are new. Would love to have you on board. So close to 8,000 subscribers. I am back. I'm sorry that this had to be the first video in like a week, but still, I'm going to make the video and we're going to take responsibility. Horrible performance. I'm so glad we missed that penalty. We didn't deserve nothing from the game. It should have been 4-0, in my opinion. It should have been 5 or 6-1, in my opinion. But regardless, we move on. We have Brighton away. That is a much tougher game than this. No disrespect to Sporting, but that Premier League game is a little bit more important. And I am shitting bricks. We got to get our act together now.